Finding the gem in the rough can be the difference between having your team going on a playoffs run or straight to the shame bracket. With the NFL season soon to start and fantasy football leagues being drafted left and right, we wanted to shed some light about players that can change your fortune for the better. With the ever-changing landscapes of the NFL, it's crucial to keep an eye on these players who could provide significant value in your fantasy drafts. Today, we'll break down the best sleeper running back prospects with high potential to be game changers. These are running backs that are currently leading the odds to rise up and claim the RB1 sport for their teammates and become the leading threat on the ground for their team. So let's break down 5 running backs who are primed to make a splash this season and the battles they face for snaps with their teammates. First up, we have Rico Dowdle of the Dallas Cowboys. Dowdle is entering 2024 as one of the top running backs on the depth chart, and he has been making waves in training camp. With Ezekiel Elliott now back in Dallas, the two are in a heated battle for snaps. Dowdle has been praised for his performance, with head coach Mike McCarthy even stating that he's been having a hell of a camp. Last season, Dowdle averaged 4.1 yards per carry, while Elliott averaged 3.5 yards per attempt. Dowdle also had a higher yards created per touch and yards after contact per attempt than Elliott. However, Elliott has a higher average draft position of RB40 compared to Dowdle at RB43. If Dowdle can continue to impress in camp and preseason games, he could overtake Elliott as the lead back in Dallas. The last-minute addition of Dalvin Cook could make it harder for Dowdle to shine, but judging from Cook's last season's stats, I wouldn't be too concerned. Cook is currently being drafted as RB79 and should be the third-string option in this offense. Next up is the battle for the Tennessee Titans RB1 role featuring Tyjae Spears, who's looking to carve out a larger role in the backfield after a promising rookie season. In 2023, he averaged an impressive 4.8 yards per carry and scored 2 touchdowns on 100 rushing attempts. He also contributed 52 receptions for 385 yards and 1 touchdown in the passing game. Spears' ability to make plays in both the running and passing game gives him a solid foundation to build upon as he competes for the lead back role. However, Tony Pollard, recently signed into the team, brings significant experience, production, and equal versatility to the Titans' backfield. In 2023, he rushed over 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns on 252 carries for the Cowboys, averaging 4 yards per attempt. Pollard also caught 55 passes for 311 yards, making the backfield contest a headache for the Titans. The battle between Spears and Pollard will be one to watch closely at the start of the season, as the Titans are expected to rely heavily on their running game. Pollard currently has an average draft position of RB26, while Spears is being drafted as RB36. If Spears can outperform Pollard in camp and establish himself as a reliable option in both the rushing and passing game, he could easily take over as the RB1 for the Titans. Coming in next, we have Jonathan Brooks, a second-round draft pick for the Carolina Panthers, who is currently leading the odds for the RB1 spot later in the season. Although he's recovering from an ACL injury, Brooks is projected to make a significant impact once healthy. He'll be competing against Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders for snaps. Hubbard averaged 4.3 yards per carry and scored 3 touchdowns last season, while Sanders averaged 4.9 yards per attempt and found the end zone 11 times. Sanders has an average draft position of RB73, Hubbard is being drafted at RB44, and Brooks is currently at RB33. Despite his higher ADP, people often look away due to his injury concerns. If Brooks can return to form quickly, his talent and his team's investment in him could see him take over the main role in a rather weak backfield. The Panthers coaching staff is optimistic about his potential, making him a sleeper to monitor. Next up, we have our personal favorite RB sleeper prospect, Chase Brown of the Cincinnati Bengals. Brown has been taking a lot of snaps as the Bengals' RB1 during training camp and has shown promise in preseason games. He primarily competes with Zach Moss for snaps. Last season, Moss averaged 4.6 yards per carry and scored 4 touchdowns, while Brown is still an unknown commodity as he was drafted in the 5th round back in 2023 and didn't play much as a rookie. Moss has an ADP of RB28, while Brown is currently being drafted at RB37. Brown's ability to gain yards after contact and his impressive performance in camp have put him in a strong position to take over the lead role in this high-powered offense. We still don't understand how Moss is still being considered the lead back in this offense, making Brown a massive value pick if he continues to impress. This battle could easily be settled before the season starts, so take advantage of this and keep him in mind for those late round picks in your draft. As we look further down the road, we analyze the Denver Broncos, where the competition for the RB1 spot is heating up between Jaleel McLaughlin and Javonte Williams. Both players bring unique skill sets to the table, making this battle one of the most intriguing in the league for the 2024 season. Javonte Williams struggled to make an impact for the Broncos, only averaging 3.6 yards per carry and totaling 774 yards plus 3 TDs. Although he was useful as a pass catcher, he didn't excel in this category either, with 228 yards and 2 touchdowns receiving. Williams has faced challenges since recovering from a significant knee injury, making fantasy managers cautious about investing in him. He currently goes as RB27 in most leagues. On the other hand, Jaleel McLaughlin has emerged as a strong contender for the lead role. The undrafted rookie impressed in 2023, rushing for 410 yards and scoring 1 touchdown on just 76 carries, averaging 5.4 yards per attempt. As a receiver, he recorded 47 receptions for 228 yards and 2 touchdowns, showcasing his versatility. McLaughlin's speed and ability to make plays have caught the attention of the coaching staff, and while his ADP is around RB49, his ceiling is quite high, making him one of the strongest value picks this year. Last but not least is Jaylen Warren from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Warren has been a strong performer, often outperforming Najee Harris in efficiency metrics. However, he is currently dealing with a hamstring injury that could affect his availability early in the season. Last year, Warren averaged 4.9 yards per carry and scored 2 touchdowns, while Harris averaged 3.8 yards per attempt and found the end zone 7 times. Harris has an ADP of RB24, while Warren is being drafted at RB34. If Warren can return quickly and demonstrate his ability to contribute in both the rushing and passing games, he has a chance to claim the RB1 spot, especially if Harris struggles to find his form. Out of all the running back battles, this one might just be the toughest one to predict due to both players' talent. But with high risk comes high reward, and whoever ends up with the Steelers' number 1 running option would have an immense weapon in their roster. And there you have it, the top sleeper running backs to watch closely as we head into the 2024 fantasy football season. These running backs are not only talented, but also find themselves in competitive situations that could allow them to emerge as the primary options in their respective backfields. If you are patient enough to give them time to prove themselves, you might be looking at multiple breakout players this season. Make sure you keep an eye on them throughout your drafts, and don't forget to give us a like if you found this content useful. Subscribe to our channel for more fantasy football insights, football highlights, and in-depth analysis. Leave a comment below on which sleeper running back you're most excited about this season. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your drafts.